I was born in 1994, and I grew up in a suburb of Minneapolis. And my parents were a Christian. They taught me about God and helped me to understand that God was good. They brought me to church, told me that Jesus died for my sins. I don't think I had a relationship with God growing up. Even though I knew that Jesus died for my sins, I would not have been able to explain that to somebody. If they asked me, can you explain to me why Jesus had to die for your sins? I just would not have been able to explain why. I just knew that that's something that Jesus did. In 2008, I was 13. The summer of 2008, my mom took me to a bookstore at our church, and she bought me a Bible. I had never read the Bible before on my own. I just heard it in church. And I brought the Bible back and I put it on my nightstand, and I didn't start actually reading it. It just sat on my nightstand. It was sitting there for a few weeks actually, but every time I would look at it, I would think, I really want to know what's in there. I want to know the truth that's in there. And every time I would look at it, this desire to read it started growing, but I just kind of put it off until what I thought was the right time. 2 weeks after my mom bought me that Bible, one morning I opened it up and I started reading it in Matthew chapter 1. I read Matthew chapter 1 that morning, and for the next 5 days I would read a chapter every day. When I got to Matthew chapter 5, that's when Jesus goes through the Beatitudes. Blessed are the meek, blessed are the merciful, blessed are the poor in spirit. He also talks about if your righteousness is not greater than that of the Pharisees, then you won't make it into the kingdom of heaven. When I got to Matthew 5, I was expecting to understand things, and I was really excited because I wanted to understand things. I wanted to know the truth. I believed that the truth was in the Bible at that point, and I wanted to apply it to my life and to live by it. But when I got to those verses, I did not understand what any of that meant. And that was really frustrating to me because, again, I knew that this was the truth. I knew I needed to live by it, but I couldn't because I couldn't understand it. After getting to the end of Matthew 5 and realizing all that, I asked God to help me to understand. I really wanted to understand. I really wanted to apply it to my life. The next morning, I started over in Matthew chapter 1. And I started reading the verses, but then I also read the notes at the bottom of the page in my Bible because it was a study Bible. At night, I would pray to God, help me to understand your word, help me to apply it to my life. And then also I started asking God to forgive me for my sins and the failures that I had had during that day. That's when I became a committed follower of Jesus. That's when I think I really started following Jesus.